Hello and welcome to Talking Really. Today's talking point is a question I received today from a viewer. Right, today's question is from a viewer, and it's coincidental that they are also a YouTuber, and the question was that they have been doing a YouTube channel and they got reported to the DWP for benefit fraud. As a result of that, they've had to go through a mandatory compliance meeting to discuss what the claim was made by a person who allegedly has been sending messages to this guy, and I can confirm quite categorically that I've had very similar experiences to this person. I've had comments about reporting me to the DWP for alleged benefit fraud. I think the main point that I'm going to make about all of this is if you're not doing anything illegal, you're claiming your benefits correctly. And of course, getting benefits these days is quite difficult because of all the hoops and things that you have to go through, the face-to-face interviews, etc., etc. But there is a common theme in the country of late. It's been where disabled people are called scroungers, work shy, lazy, all sorts of things that are untrue. A lot of people are very upset and jealous that they think that they perceive that we disabled people get stuff given us, we get cars given us, we get money handed to us, we get everything else. However, there is a lot of rigmarole and a lot of formality that we have to go through in order to claim what we're entitled to claim. If you claim something and you actually get it, then it seems like that you're probably entitled to it. And especially if you've gone through all the rigmarole of a face-to-face interview as well, it just seems quite unfair that we're being targeted by jealous idiots that really have nothing better to do. So this guy was telling me that he has been doing a YouTube channel. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that he has been doing things right according to the letter of the law. I know it seems like there are a lot of similarities between this question that I've got, which is genuine, and my own circumstances. However, my circumstances are that I was doing my self-employed business before I even got to the point of being severely disabled in my back area and my legs. Even before that, I was claiming PIP, and I've been claiming PIP for my car since the age of about 15. So, up until recently when it changed over to PIP from DLA. It's directed at the people that are making these comments, because they seem to think that we are giving out things for nothing, and they claim that we should get a job and go out and earn some money and everything else. Well, I am classed as self-employed, and I do claim benefits, and it's perfectly legal to claim benefits. Now let me explain. There are two types. There is a PIP or PIP, which was DLA, and majority of people that were on DLA, such as myself, we've moved over. I moved over last year, so from DLA, and you have to go through the whole thing about face-to-face interview and fill in loads of forms and things. Now, part of that benefit is I can give it up to have a car, which is not your own. You don't own the car, but they do maintain it for you. Obviously, you pay for petrol, and things like that, and parking, you pay for all of that. But the actual car itself is paid for through your benefit. It's a lease car. It's the same as if you would go to a garage and lease a car. And it's not a government scheme, but it is closely associated with the government, and in fact, that they receive money. The car is separate. It is a benefit that you can claim, and anybody can claim it, whether you're working, whether you're not working, whatever your circumstances. Now, there is a certain element of the new PIP which is to do with personal care. If you are lucky enough to get the higher rate on the car, on the Motability, then you will be entitled to apply for the car. Now, not all cars are free, okay, so let's just clarify that not all cars are free. Some of the very larger cars that you need to have to be able to put things in, such as scooters and wheelchairs, you actually have to find money yourself. You have to find a deposit, a non-refundable deposit. My current car that I've had for, this is my 4th year. I did not renew it last year. After 3 years, you have to renew, and I didn't renew it. I kept it for another 2 years because I didn't have the money to be able to pay for a new deposit, and I paid £2,500. That was a non-refundable deposit to pay for the car and also the lift in the back of the car. So I had to pay for that myself. When the car goes back, I don't keep any of it, and basically my new car, whatever car that will be, I then have to start again by finding money. So depending on the size of the car, it will depend on how much money you have to find, and that comes out of your own pocket. There are certain ways that you can do it, applying for help through Motability, but I've never done that because obviously you need to show that you have little or no resources. And of course I have my income from working, which means that I would probably have to get a bank loan or something to be able to pay for it. And all of this is entirely separate from the other benefit system. It's not taxable. It doesn't take part in any calculation of any other benefit. You have to obviously declare it when you apply for these benefits, but it's not included in them. Now, the other one that I suspect that our viewers claiming is ESA. ESA is Employment Support Allowance. This is for severely disabled people who cannot work or have difficulty working. There are 2 groups. There is a support group, which is for the severely disabled who will never look for work or cannot look for work. And there is a work-related activity group, a RAG, which is where they are claiming ESA, but they have to look for work, within a reasonable time, and there is help to do that. Now, to get ESA on the assessment, which is another face-to-face meeting, you have to gain 15 points in total, so 15 points overall. You're all saying just now, okay, well, you personally have just declared that you are working. Yes, I am, and you are entitled to work. It is a scheme that is called permitted work. It's a scheme that is perfectly legal. You can do this. If you're claiming benefit, you can still work. And this is the fallacy that people assume that, oh, look, he's on benefits, he's working, he must be scamming it, he must be doing things illegally. So let's look at the facts then, shall we? What permitted work allows you to do is any sort of work. So that could be anything you like. In my case, it is self-employed because that's what I was doing before. And obviously I have a business which, it's ticking over. It's not doing well, but it's ticking over. Could do better. And of course, with my health the way it is, it's probably not going to do better. So luckily for me, it's just ticking over. Now I can do up to 16 hours a week. So 16 hours a week or less, and you can actually earn up to £125.50 per week. That is after tax and national insurance. And interestingly, there's no permitted work under universal credit. So if you're on universal credit, then you cannot do this, any of the stuff that I'm telling you now, and you're doing permitted work, and you also have what is called housing benefit or council tax benefit. You're entitled to keep all of your permitted work earnings because it will not affect your benefit. And likewise, if you're on HSA, you can claim housing benefit and the other benefit and be perfectly legal. So you can do up to 16 hours a week working, plus also keep what you earn. So housing benefit helps people pay their rent. You could get housing benefit if you're on other benefits or if you're working even. Housing benefit does not help with the council tax, but you can, if you're on a low income, you may be able to get a reduction on your council tax under the local scheme for your county. PIP can be paid regardless of your income, savings or national insurance contributions, and is a tax-free benefit. So there's two types of ESA. One is the contribution based, where you have worked and you have paid your national insurance stamp, and this can last for up to 12 months if you're put into the RAG group, the work related activity group. If you're in a support group, there is no limit on how long you can receive it for. Now, interestingly, the other thing that I often get accused of is, we're going to report you because you've gone abroad for a holiday. So I normally go for 4 weeks because it's a round figure, and also that's the amount of holiday that I get between my term times. So I get around about 4 weeks for Easter, 4 weeks in summer, and 4 weeks at Christmas. That was designed that way when I first started doing self-employment many years ago. Well, 10 years ago this year actually. I decided that I worked all my life where I got 4 weeks holiday, and I thought, if I'm going to work for myself, I've got to get some benefit from this. So I'm going to have as many holidays as I can. So in the end, I decided to have 3 a year. 3 holidays a year of 4 weeks. That gives me 12 weeks, and I work for 40 weeks a year. Basically, people tell me, oh, you go abroad, we're going to report you because you're claiming benefits and blah, blah, blah. Well, I can tell you now that it's perfectly legal to go on holiday abroad. In actual fact, you can continue to claim PIP and DLA, or even attendance allowance if you're going abroad for up to 13 weeks. And obviously this can be extended with permission for 26 weeks if it's for medical treatment. So quite clearly, my even just having PIP, I'm allowed to go out of the country for 13 weeks. Now, if you're talking about ESA, for example, then going abroad for up to 4 weeks legally, and you don't have to tell anybody about it. So 4 weeks. If you go over 4 weeks but less than a year, then you need to tell your local job centre plus the disability advisor if you're going abroad for more than 4 weeks. Now, you can carry on getting contribution-based ESA for up to 6 months if you're going abroad for medical treatment for yourself or a child, and it doesn't matter which country you go to. So basically, if you go for 4 weeks or less, it's perfectly legal to carry on claiming, and also you don't have to tell anybody about it. There is obviously the argument that people say, oh well, you go 2 or 3 times a year. In actual fact, most years I only go abroad twice, which is reasonable, There was only 1 year where I went 3 times, and that was very unusual. However, as far as this is concerned, you know, the whole saga, going abroad, there is no rule about how many times that you can go. I've done some research on this, and I have not found any information on this question. However, what I would say is in my next part of this video, providing that you are upfront and honest with your disability advisor, and you're actually keeping them informed about what you're doing, they are more than happy to allow you to do anything you like within reason. So obviously going 2 or 3 times a year, and I have a reason for that, because it's my wife lives there, and if I didn't go, I wouldn't see my wife. So, you know, let's get real here. If you are going to do any of this stuff that I'm telling you about, then please make sure that you're doing it correctly. Now, I suspect that my viewer friend here hasn't done it right, and not going to point fingers, but I suspect that what's happened is he hasn't not declared that he's doing permitted work. He's not working. He's working. He's been accused of doing YouTube as a job, trying to make some money, trying to make a channel. Now, as we all know, YouTube does not pay very much money anyway, even if you have as many views as I have, which is not that many, and subscriber-wise, I think you need to have 10-20,000 subscribers before you even start making any sort of monthly figure that you could live off. But hey, you know, that's YouTube for you. Now, obviously, this chappie has been accused of working and doing YouTube as a job, and been reported for allegedly working and claiming benefits, which technically he has, because what he should have done was set himself up as a self-employed person doing videos, if that's what he wants to do. He could have legally kept any money that he had coming in or anything else that he made, and it would have been perfectly legal. Now, what I've done is I've put a link down below as to a form that you should fill in and give into your local job centre or post it off, and it declares that you want to do permitted work. Okay, and it will allow you then to earn the money and do working up to 16 hours a week, and do it legally and not have to worry about these idiot trolls who are coming on making stupid comments. Now, talking of stupid comments, somebody put on a forum about my friend is claiming ESA and working, blah, blah, blah. What should I do? Should I report them? Well, I mean, you know, just let's face it, that's quite a nasty thing to do anyway, especially if they're so-called a friend. However, the 3 comments that I'm going to show you are actually quite refreshing. So, you know, I think if any of the idiot trolls are watching this video and you're thinking, oh, I might go and report you, just have a look at those 3 comments first and then follow the advice. Because as far as I'm concerned, personally, all of what I do is above board. I have annual accounts that my accountant does, and they are submitted to HMRC. And this year, I was very fortunate that the HMRC had to pay me some money back for my tax. So, you know, it's all legal, above board, and everything that I do on YouTube or any other money that I got coming in from any part of my business, then they are declared in my annual accounts. Anyway, I hope that that's answered some questions about working and benefit, and I hope that I've tried to help our viewer with his question, although I do suspect that probably he hasn't been aware of the rules and hasn't declared the work. So there we go. If you've got any questions or queries, then put them down below and I'll get back to you. And if you have any questions, then please email me them and I'll try and answer them for you. Right then, bye for now.